Prepare yourself for Earthling Entertainment, the perfect blend of paranormal and pop culture, with your host, Joe Wakefield and Ryan Lang.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Earthling Entertainment with Joe Wakefield and Ryan Lang.
Hello out there. I'm your host who just got a chlorophyll transfusion to get rid of all that silly human blood, Joe Wakefield.
Hi, I'm Ryan.
Hello, Ryan.
Hello.
And hello, listeners. So, if you're a returning listener, thanks. If you're a new listener and you are wondering, what is this show about? I'm going to tell you, but I'm going to try to tell you super duper quick.
That's right.
What we do here is a little bit of the spooky, a little bit of the creepy. Sometimes it's cryptozoology.
Yeah.
Other times it's a haunting, a myth, or a legend. But it's always creepy. That, of course, is followed by a second part, which we like to call exposure discussion. That one's all about aliens. Exposure discussion. We just get naked in that one.
That's right.
That's why it's an audio only. There's no benefit. It's just a lot of slapping wet sounds.
I'm just asking questions.
Excuse me, hold on. That, of course, is followed by a section we like to call disclosure discussion. That one's all about aliens.
I'm just asking questions. UFO stories, anything about it, like any new photos, videos, anything that's getting leaked, or even anything interdimensional, just everything extra crazy alien. That's what we talk about.
That's right. And then the second half of the show, the latter half, if you will, is all dedicated to pop culture and entertainment. Sometimes we have celebrity guests. Sometimes we do trivia games. Other times we talk about celebrity deaths. Occasionally we have audio dramas. We actually have an audio drama today. We actually have a quiz game today. But all of that together is our podcast. The first part, that's the spooky. The second part, which is the pop culture, form a crazy snake orgy known as Earthling Entertainment.
Welcome back. We've got a doozy for you today. But no, I think I'm ready for today. It's been I've been having a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's
already.
It's a little bit of a weird day because we're recording this on a day we don't normally record it, and it's just been a crazy summer for both of us. So we came into the studio today, and we're just like, we're gonna have fun with it. Hence the off the cuff opening. But
Indeed.
if you guys are still with us, you've picked a good show. This is Earthlings in Swamps. That's right. It's another one of our bottle episodes, which means we are focusing solely on one topic. And today we're doing the very vague topic of swamps.
It was a good idea. It was a good idea. It was fun to write. A little difficult, but fun.
Yeah, well, because on paper, you're like, how is that going to work? But then you start thinking, well, there are swamp monsters. We have a great audio drama with a swamp monster. There are movies that take place in swamps. There are aliens with things like swamp gas. There's a lot going on with swamps. So,
What's up with these swamps?
all right, so when it comes to swamps, I'm always reminded of how I used to feel as a kid. And when I was a kid, I would climb anything. I would, go through anything. I have video of when I was in high school, and it was 17. I was 17, and I went through the Ruse River with just these wader pants, and we tried to find like an style drainage tunnel, and we walked through it and recorded all that stuff. And all I could think of is, there's absolutely no way I would do that now.
No.
And you know what's funny is I'm not worried about getting dirty or gross. I just don't like bugs. I don't want to deal with leeches. I can't remember a time where I've ever had a leech on me, and I just don't want to do it. And I know it'll happen, right? Like, you'll go swimming, I'll go in a lake. There'll be a horrible memory with a tick or a leech, but I haven't had it yet.
Nah, growing up in Boy Scouts, I got pretty lucky. I've never had a leech. Never had. I did have a tick. Not like try to start, and I brushed them off. So
That's good. That's
But,
good.
like-
I actually knew somebody who had Lyme disease.
oh god,
Yeah, and it like messed him up for a couple years. It was
That's
very
fucked up.
extreme.
dude, yeah, it's the little ticks
The
that
little
do
ones.
that. So it's the big ones you don't have to worry about. It's the little ones.
I don't know enough to know if that's true, but I would just prefer to not have any on me.
Just saying, yeah.
And it's, what's weird is the things that suck your blood seem to always be in the swamps. It's mosquitoes, it's leeches, there's carnivorous trees and certain folklore.
Right.
I just seems like a place we should stay out of.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. But yeah, like honestly, like I got stuck in a little swamp, but I mean it was basically just like the side of a lake.
I mean, I think it still counts if it's all
Right.
murky water and
Oh, yeah.
trees growing out of it.
So I stupidly get in my in this, because I'm fishing and I'm not catching anything off the dock.
Sure. How
And
old were you?
I was probably honestly in my like early 20s,
All right,
probably,
fair
maybe
enough.
even.
I was pretty stupid in my early 20s. This can go anywhere.
So I see, there's one of the boats you can rent, but I'm like, I'm sure it's chained up. It was not.
Oh. So
But
you
there was
stole a
no,
boat?
but there was no oar. So I found a nice stick, and I'm like, this, it's pretty thick stick, pretty long. I can use this to kind of,
Get yourself in the water.
So
Do you
I-
think maybe you could like pull yourself along the bottom, maybe?
No, like just off of there, it wasn't all murky and stuff like where I ended up. So it was pretty easy to kind of just get into the canoe and into the boat and just kind of go. And so I'm fishing and I'm still having no luck, but I just keep, the wind keeps the
Pushing
current-
you along a little bit.
right back to the dock though. So I was really lucky. I'm like, oh, this is working out great. So every now and then I'd use the stick, push myself out. Then the wind changed.
Yeah, right.
And I'm sitting in the middle of this lake. It wasn't a huge lake, to be fair, and I'm sitting in the middle of this lake. It's pretty big, pretty damn big. And I'm like, I have no water. I didn't bring food. I am sitting in the middle, and the sun is scorching down on me. And I'm just like, this isn't good. So it pulls me all the way to the complete opposite side. And now I'm stuck in these reeds, like in like the swamp of this lake. And I'm at the front of the fucking boat, grabbing these reeds and pulling so I could just keep moving the boat forward, right?
You're just pulling yourself along the vegetation.
As much as I could. And then I got stuck. And I'm like, oh, well. So I got my phone in my hand and, everything that was important. I step out of the boat. The water goes up to my nipples.
Are
I
you
am
kind of
just-
like stuck in the murky water?
Oh, yeah. And now I'm just trudging through it little by little. I finally get out. And now I have to
All the way around the lake.
all the way around this effing lake. And I get back and
Do you just
there's-
leave the boat the other side?
Totally. Like, so they're going to,
Someone's like, well, god damn it.
what if that person like passed away or got into some trouble and they're like, oh my God, this is the boat that Mr. Jenkins got.
They're going to
Oh,
come up
no.
with some false Scooby-Doo scenario where you're the villain.
That's right.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, where you say false.
You know,
Man.
the closest thing I have to that is we were at our buddy. You were there. We were at our buddy Mike's cabin, and he had some jet skis. And I just didn't grow up by a lake. I didn't really have jet skis at all. So they were like, "Hey, you want to ride it?" I'm like, "Sure." I don't know much about these machines, but I'm like, "It'll be fun." And I just drive out into the middle of the lake. And as I'm just cruising around at probably faster speeds than I should be, there's this kind of like raft of vegetation, that sometimes happens with seaweed.
Yes.
And I'm like, this is fine. I'll just drive right through this, not knowing that it like would clog up and wrap up on the propeller. So then now I am in a giant lake, not a small lake, stuck in the middle on a jet ski because the propeller stops working. Now, here's an issue is I don't have any way of contacting anyone. And the difference between a jet ski and the boat you were on is you can't really reach the water in any significant way to paddle. If you were to completely lean over and try to use your hand, you'd fall off, and your foot could barely touch the water from your sitting position.
And they're oddly like balanced too, like when you're not going.
I'm just sitting on a bobber in the middle
Yeah.
of the lake.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting there, and I could tell because I could vaguely see my friends on the shore, and I'm just like, well, eventually they'll get the message because I'm just sitting here, just bobbing around.
How long did they leave you there?
Well, you were there.
Oh
That's
my God.
fun. Yeah,
No,
you were
yeah,
a part
then
of this.
we totally watched you then.
You did, and it took you a while, but you guys did come
Wow,
by
I forgot that this was at
Mike's cabin.
Mike's
That
cabin.
is- to be fair, that is how I started the story.
Man, I honestly don't remember much of that. It was, I was in my 20s, did a bit of drinking all day.
Everybody was drinking on that one. Yeah, that was definitely a good early 20s summer lake house story.
I do now remember though, vague. Like I remember I scared everybody off the dock because I was coming in so hot. Like they all literally turned around and ran.
Well, good times.
But I stopped it just in time. It was fine.
Well, good. Well, good. And with that, guys, let's jump into our first section, which we are going to call Spooky Stuff.
The Honey Island Swamp Monster, also known as the Cajun Sasquatch, and in Cajun French, La Bête Noire. is a ape-like humanoid cryptid creature similar to descriptions of Bigfoot, purported to inhabit the Honey Island swamp in St. Tammany Parish, Louisiana. It has become part of Louisiana folklore, with many swamp tour companies in the area capitalizing on its alleged existence. The creature is commonly described by witnesses as a large, bipedal humanoid, about 7 feet or 2 meters tall, covered with gray hair, having yellow or red eyes, and accompanied by a putrid odor.
Seems like everything smells. Like all the Bigfoots, all the Yetis, every ape-like, human-like creature. It seems like the consensus is, y'all stink.
Well, I mean, it makes sense, right? They're in a swamp. They're all moldy.
Well, not just them, though. I think everybody, that's what I'm saying, all of them. Like, what about the Yeti? The Yeti is in the middle of the snow, and he still stinks.
Does he? I never heard about Yeti smells.
That's what I'm saying. All of ape-like creatures I've heard smell.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh my God, they could have their own fragrance. Be like, whiff of Yeti coming this fall.
passionate, glorious.
I mean, we talked before about how there is such thing as Bigfoot erotica.
There certainly
So
is.
I'm just saying a saucy fragrance might not be too off the mark.
Oh man, we're doomed. Other local names for the creature include the Louisiana Wookiee.
Ooh, I
And-
like that one.
Me too. And the Thing.
That one's scary as hell.
It is. Alleged plaster casts of footprints said to be from the creature showcase 4 toes, not a natural trait found in primates who possess 5. So that's interesting.
That is interesting. Seems like a fun mutation. Usually hear about extra limbs, not less.
Like, we don't need it.
Frog with 3 legs? Pff, I'm a Sasquatch with 4 toes and
Ah.
gray hair.
Top that.
I'm the sassiest Squatch.
Oh, yeah. The first claim
What
site.
the fuck?
I don't know.
What was that?
I don't know. I dropped off.
All right.
So, anyways, the first claim sighting was in 1963 by Harlan Ford, a retired air traffic controller who had taken up wildlife photography. After his death in 1980, a reel of Super 8 film showing the creature was found among his belongings. In 1974, Ford and his friend Billy Mills claimed to have found unusual footprints in the area, as well as the body of a wild boar whose throat had been gashed. Today, the creature is still purported to inhabit the swamp and the bayous along the Pearl River.
That's fun. I like the idea of him not telling anyone and it just being found in his belongings. Because that to me is like, well, that feels like that's more real than other videos and other sightings. Because where there are a lot of people like, I got proof, I got pictures of this thing.
This dude was like, nope.
Yeah, this
Don't
guy's
want
like,
none of this.
or it was just he didn't even think about it as like something extraordinary to the point where he's going to tell anybody. He's like, oh yeah, there's an ape-like creature. Everyone knows about that. No one's going to care about this. Stupid news. Who cares?
I honestly, I think he was just like, nope,
Yeah.
ain't gonna be me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be the one.
No one's going to believe me on this thing.
I'm not doing that. Nope. Because think about it. Yeah, you'd get harassed.
Everyone
know.
calling you a liar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, nope. You
That's
just
true.
toss that away. He was just like, nope. Or he's just the most laid back dude ever.
I mean, I get it, because that is why I don't tell anyone about the leprechaun locked up in my shed. Plus, I'd have to share the gold coins.
Joe, you just said it on air. Local lore tells of a train crash that occurred near the swamp in the early 20th century, in which a traveling circus lost chimpanzees who adapted to the environment and offer a potential explanation as to the creature's origins.
That would be fun, right? Because, but they're saying it's 7 feet tall to, that seems like a little tall for a monkey. But what if this monkey wound up in some toxic sludge that was dumped in the Louisiana swamp and then became the gray-furred, 4-toed monster known as the Honey Island Swamp Monster? I'm just saying, it all adds up, Ryan.
It really does. I'm a believer. I am a believer in most Sasquatch stories because they have to adapt to wherever they're at. So
Well, you kind of look at it like dogs, something between a wolf, a Pomeranian, a German Shepherd, and a Doberman. None of these dogs look the same. None of them have the same attributes.
Right.
So I feel like if there is a Sasquatch type creature, it makes sense that there be different forms of him. And this Honey Island swamp monster could be one of them. But there's another one in Florida that we're about to talk about right now.
The skunk ape
Like I said, they all stink.
is a large and hairy human-like mythical creature purported to inhabit the forests and swamps in the southeastern United States, most notably in Florida. It is often compared to, synonymous with, or called the cousin of Bigfoot, a prominent subject within North American popular culture. Many dubious articles have been presented in an attempt to prove the skunk ape's existence, including anecdotal sightings, disputed photographs, audio and video recordings, and casts of large footprints. The skunk ape has entered the popular culture of the southern United States. It is commonly described as a bipedal, human, or ape-like creature, approximately 5 to 7 foot tall, and covered in mottled red-brown hair. It is smaller in stature to traditional descriptions of Bigfoot from northern United States and Canada. It is named for its foul odor, often described as being similar to that of a skunk.
Yeah. So like we were talking about earlier, different shapes and sizes. You know what I mean? This one's clearly a little bit more compact. The last one, the Honey Island swamp monster, that was a little bigger. This guy's about 5 feet. He's a short guy. He's a little Tom Cruise of the Bigfoot community.
You don't need to be that big, in the swamp, right? Like, it probably helps you out. You can kind of like sneak around a little bit more because it's not that deep.
Maybe.
Yeah,
that's as good as hypothesis as any.
So, contemporary descriptions of the skunk ape in Florida, Georgia, and Alabama folklore have occurred since European settlers first occupied the region. In 1818, local newspapers reported a story from what is now Apalachicola, Florida, that spoke of a man-sized monkey raiding food stores and stalking fishermen along the shore.
He's like, I'm gonna get you a fish.
Oh my God.
like,
dude.
Oh,
No.
it's my
Fine.
livelihood.
Fine, you can have it.
Quit stealing my fish, skunk ape.
Take it, skunk ape. You stink.
You just imagine you're a fisherman, you see him, and then suddenly his nostril flares. He's like, God damn it. Hey, give me your fish.
Fine. Damn skunk ape. Cryptozoologists have made claims that Seminole and Miccosukee culture includes stories of a foul-smelling, physically powerful, and secretive creature called Esti Kaki, a name which roughly translates to furry tall man or hairy giant.
Hairy giant sounds better. Like
Yeah.
hairy giant, you're like, oh, look, it's a hairy giant. And we call something a Bigfoot, so it works. Hairy giant, I can believe that.
Yeah.
But furry tall man just sounds stupid.
It does kind of sound stupid.
I don't know.
Hopefully they go with the
I know
latter.
it's a translation, but
Right. So July 1997, one such reporter, David Shealy, reported wildlife bait stands laden with lima bean had been raided and he noticed strange tracks surrounding them. He baited several locations with more lima beans, and multiple witnesses reported skunk ape sightings soon after.
oh my God.
So he brought them out.
That would make sense. Ryan, why, if you own a lima bean company, this is the perfect opportunity to make a mascot. Think about it. You got the Jolly Green Giant being like, oh, your fruits and vegetables. No, screw that. You get a skunk ape. You're like, skunk ape brand lima beans. They don't stink. It writes itself, Ryan.
It writes itself, Joe.
It is perfect.
That's right.
This is a missed opportunity. Remember a few weeks ago when we were talking about branding? Here we go, Ryan.
Yeah.
Skunk ape lima beans.
Well, copyright Earthling Entertainment on that. They have to buy it from us now.
Well, no, we have to start a lima bean company, and then there's a lot to this plan. We'll get through it.
Dude,
But
I'm down. Let's grow some lima beans. So Shealy and others attributed this instance to high seasonal flooding, having driven numerous animals into tighter ranges and higher ground.
so tight.
So yeah, they're getting just flooded out.
Yeah.
One such sighting was by Everglades tour operators Steve Goodbread and Dow Rowland, Some of their guests reported skunk ape sightings as well. Both operators claimed that 100-degree Fahrenheit weather, high humidity, and the rural location would make a hoax unlikely.
That's true. Can you imagine? I've anytime we worked on stage or anything like that, and the lights, and you're just so hot, and it's like I
Dying.
was wearing like an alligator suit, and that was too much. I couldn't imagine being in the swamps in a Bigfoot suit. Just oh god, it's so hot. Like, what do you have to gain? What
It's
do you
like-
have to gain, Ryan?
I just imagine you had a Bigfoot costume guy just checking his watch, like the tour should be coming by any moment now.
How heavy would fake wet fur be while you're covered in water?
I think you'd die.
Really hard to move, man.
Yeah, I think you'd fucking die.
Yeah, so I get it. It's a reasonable reason to think it wasn't a hoax.
Yeah. In 1997, a photograph of a dark, upright figure in the swamp was taken by Okeechobee Fire Council District Chief Vince Doerr, that he claims depicts a skunk ape. He reported observing the creature cross the road and stopped his car to capture a photograph. Within 2 weeks, over 50 people reported alleged sightings of a hairy creature within the Big Cypress National Preserve. So that's where he's at.
Yeah,
We're
a lot of sightings. You know, it lends more credibility to a creature when it's not just one guy.
It really does.
I mean, there's a shrimp, which is a Japanese folklore creature that has an eye in his butthole,
oh yes.
and he bends over and shows people.
Yeah.
And I remember when we were covering that story that there was literally just one guy who said it, and it was just like literally this. It's like it's never been seen again. And
Yeah,
like,
that was
it was just Terry. Terry said it was real, and we're all like, "Yep, yep." Well, there's a few more for this skunk ape.
Terry is a treasure. He would never tell a lie. In the year 2000, the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office received 2 anonymous photos depicting a large, hairy, ape-like creature. The author of the letter claimed to be an elderly woman who reported the creature had been stealing apples from her back porch near I-75. And upon surprising it with a camera, she was afraid it was an escaped orangutan that might harm her family. They are strong.
True, but I don't think an orangutan's going to be like,
I don't think they're gonna. Yeah,
she told him, I'm out to get her now. It's not like I know what you did last summer situation. Although, in that new movie, that would surprise me if that was the killer reveal.
dude.
if you can't, what was it? No, it was Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. In that movie in 2001, they were making a Scream sequel, and while on set, they took off the mask, and it was the monkey Suzanne. That's why that popped in my head. All right, fair enough.
Genius. The scrutinized photos, dubbed the Mayaka skunk ape, remain a polarizing topic. One critique highlighting the photographs as a potential hoax is the subject's resemblance to a Bigfoot statue known from a Ripley's Believe It or Not museum. However, the position, expression, and posture of the creature changes in both photos, adding doubts to it being a hoax. Sightings continue to the present day, with 48 out of 67 counties in Florida reported sightings since 2010. So it's still out there.
It's still out there. I loved this because we wanted to do a whole episode based on swamps, and we were like, swamp monsters, and usually think of like lizards or frogs or something like that. But no, you know what it turns out to be? Different variations of a Bigfoot.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. That's why it's funny. I become more of a believer the older I am. I feel like when I was younger, I was just like, yeah, maybe, but now I'm like, oh, for sure. It's out there. There was one in Monroe.
There was a
right where I
Bigfoot?
live.
Yeah. So Ryan, what else we're doing to this show is later on in the show we're going to have a fun trivia game. Did you know that?
I like trivia games.
All about swamps. And you know what? I got a little warm-up question for you right now.
Okay.
All right, it's not going to be multiple choice, so you just have to guess.
Okay.
Which Family Guy character is deathly afraid of swamp monsters?
Oh my God. Family Guy?
Yeah.
The mayor.
It's actually Peter Griffin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you suck.
I don't know. It just sounded like something that what's his name would say.
Mayor West.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry, Ryan. That is wrong. But you know what's never wrong?
What?
Our love for extraterrestrials.
I do love him. I do love him.
I know. And you know what else I love is this next segment, which we call
Disclosure discussion. Ha 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 ha. It's about aliens and stuff.
Swamp gas or UFO? Michigan author believes aliens flew over Dexter Hillsdale in 1966. This comes to us from MLive.com. Some said it was strange lights outside their Hillsdale college dorm. Others said they saw floating discs near Dexter. Whatever it was, some southern Michigan residents knew they saw something mysterious in the night sky in March of 1966. Research into their claims led J. Allen Hynek, that is a hard name to say.
J. Allen Hynek.
No, it's Hynek.
It's Hynek, though.
Hynek?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, it's spelt weird.
Fair enough.
Hynek, a U.S. Air Force consultant, to infamously call these sightings swamp gas, the methane released from marshy land in the areas.
Yeah, it sucks because he was really, really pressured to come up with a reason. And
Yeah.
even he was like, swamp gas. And he got a lot of crap for it for a
He
long
did.
time. And
But, yeah.
yeah.
He like flipped his life around, became like a total ufologist.
Well, you
after
know,
that.
the U.S. government apparently was really pushing for like answers that weren't aliens, and
Mhm.
it was a juggle for that man.
Yep. So yeah, and it's been famous ever since as like the biggest joke excuse.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
I bet it was just swamp gas.
yeah, yeah. But Ray Szymanski, a retired Air Force engineer and Detroit native who writes about UFOs, is certain his research goes deeper than that publicized in 1966. He believes testimony and records he has analyzed prove aliens flew a UFO across Dexter Hillsdale and elsewhere that night. Szymanski's third book in the series, Alien Shades of Grays, that's a great name,
That was a pretty good game. Yeah. Well done.
focuses on these now famous swamp gas sightings.
Oh my God, 50 Shades of Alien Grays.
The-
We can do.
You know
Oh,
it's been done.
Maybe not, but then again, there's a Ready Player One spoof that you can get on Amazon. It's self-published, and it's called Ready Player Fun,
Oh,
and it's super
gosh.
dirty. So you're right, it might exist.
I'm sure it does. Days after the incident caught the attention of many, including reporters at the Ann Arbor News and Walter Cronkite, officials deemed the lights as flares of gases burning from area swamps.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
I've lived around swamps. I've been to swamps, and I know swamp gas is a thing. I know it's a scientific proven thing, but still, I don't see clouds of like flame and different colored bursts coming out of the
No.
swamp very often.
Like, this isn't like The Princess Bride. Like,
The rats of unusual size.
right. The explanation was so lacking that even then Congressman Gerald Ford called for an investigation.
That sounds like bullshit.
You know what? Fuck that guy. Szymanski, who now lives in Ohio, has tracked down Air Force pilots who said they chased a flying object that spring night 55 years ago after being sent into the air from Selfridge Air Force Base in Macomb County to investigate. So they even were sending out planes to check that out.
That's crazy. I love that this is new information. Like he's
Yeah.
like, no. People in that area, flying in that area that day, have said it was aliens. Oh,
Uh-huh.
yeah, very cool.
The two captains were in the air for 90 minutes while searching for the UFO, according to 40 hours of recorded interviews between Szymanski and one of the pilots. They used radar information from a military control center and onboard radar to locate it. Here's a quote. One point of interest is they believe that it stopped in order to give the pilots a chance to catch up with it, Szymanski said. It was taunting them. After several minutes, the saucer-like flying object seemed to make an impossible 90-degree turn and disappear onto the horizon, quote, in the blink of an eye, he said.
Okay, so was it taunting them
Oh, yeah.
or was it flirting?
Oh.
I'm just saying.
Dude, you were really right in this book, aren't you? You're going to do it. Get ready, everybody. Szymanski's research for alien and UFO books is based on multiple eyewitness interviews, first-person accounts, and cross-referencing every possible detail, he said. He confirms their military records, assignments, titles, and any other details possible. The reason he trusts this pilot's account is because of 3 different identifying and locating methods. You've got to take everything to bedrock, and I've done that with this individual, Szymanski said. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that he and his wingman not only intercepted that UFO and had visual sighting of it, but they also had radar sighting of it, which means it was a solid object.
That's always cool. Because, when it doesn't show up on radar, while there could be cloaking devices or other means of technology we're not aware of to hide yourself from
Yeah.
radar, it does feel like a little bit more, I don't know, for lack of a better word, for no joke intended, it feels more solid, Ryan.
Yeah. And it's like reminds me of the Go Fast video. How long it took him to lock onto it
Yeah.
because it was going so fast. Szymanski has been researching UFO sightings since the late 1990s, when a sighting in Phoenix piqued his interest. At the time, he worked as an engineer at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, the Ohio base known for Project Blue Book, the investigation of UFOs.
So he was there for that's awesome, because where J. Allen Hynek started and made the Swamp Gas thing, he worked for the same place, and now he's kind of debunking it.
Yeah.
What could be more credible than a guy who's going to tell you the KFC recipe, but someone working at KFC? It makes sense.
That was good. Good reference, Joe.
I don't know if that counts as a reference, but I'll take it.
He used to ask intelligence officers there about alien rumors, probing to see if they were true or not, he said. Ray Szymanski's 3rd book on the Michigan swamp gas story was self-published and released just a couple years ago. He believes the information he found changes history, or at very least vindicates the dozens of eyewitnesses during that time who saw something mysterious in the sky. Quote, to all those who vehemently denied that you now saw swamp gas, you are hereby believed, and someone owes you a big apology, he said.
Well, you know what? I'm going to check out that book. It sounds like an interesting read. I always loved the swamp gas story for just its cultural impact on the UFO community rather than what it actually did, more like what it represents now.
Well, it was
it
was such bullshit that it actually made people believe that they did see a UFO.
Well,
because they're like, that's the worst explanation ever.
Yeah, it felt like a cover up. You know what I mean? It felt like that's impossible.
100%.
Who stole my wallet? A giraffe. Are you sure? I feel like you stole my wallet, Ted.
Nope.
Giraffe man.
Giraffe man.
Yeah.
That's weird.
That is weird. Some things in life are weird, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like this next dude.
Real world weird.
Motorist busted for alleged mushroom-induced crash. In a strange story, out of a Minnesota swamp, police arrested a man named Patches Magic Beans. Joe's giggle.
That's his name. Patches Magic Beans. Admittedly, that might be the only thing in this story that's weird, but I love it.
After he allegedly crashed his car while driving under the influence of hallucinogenic mushrooms.
As one does.
According to a local media report, the incident occurred as the oddly named motorist cruised along a highway in the community of Silver Creek. An off-duty police officer who was behind the man's van observed the vehicle swerving and weaving on the road before it hit a curb and careened into a scissor lift occupied by a pair of construction workers. Hope everybody's okay.
Actually, one guy's in critical condition.
Oh, God.
It was kind of a bummer, so I cut it out.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, oh my God.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
That's fucked up. Cops responding to the accident later noted that Magic Beans became combative with rescue workers as they attempted to extricate him from his smashed van. Upon being pulled from the vehicle, police say he responded to their questions with indecipherable gibberish while engaging with things in the air that were not actually there. A subsequent search of his vehicle led cops to uncover some proverbial magic beans in the form of hallucinogenic mushrooms.
Yeah. That tracks. Usually when people are babbling about things that aren't there and grabbing that shit in the sky and fighting people trying to help them out of a crashed van. Yeah, I mean, drugs may have been involved.
Yeah. No, leave
Drugs.
me alone.
Drugs may have been
Goblins.
involved.
I know you're goblins.
I wonder if anyone's ever used a curse or something as like a thing in court. Like you go to court and you're seriously like, I am sorry, a gypsy cursed me and I only saw blurple and it threw me.
I'm almost certain that has definitely happened. You know?
Well, anyways, so what happened? What happened with Patches McMagic Beans?
When investigators spoke to the motorist a few days later, he insisted that he was completely sober at the time of the crash.
Listen, I know what it looks like,
I know what you're thinking.
but sober as a nun.
That's right. Right. That said, Magic Beans also indicated that his last memory before the accident was driving through a town approximately an hour away from the crash.
Your Honor, it was a witch's curse. It was a witch's memory curse.
It's like, you can, I can just go now? Thanks. Regarding the mushrooms seized from his van, he initially asserted that they were merely fungi he had foraged from a nearby swamp. That kind of tracks.
Yeah. I mean, what else are you going to say?
Right?
Yeah.
However, when pressed on the matter, he eventually admitted that they were of the hallucinogenic variety and claimed he had only consumed a small one on the day before the crash.
You know, it's like if you can't trust a guy named Patches McMagic Beans when he tells you, I swear I was sober, then I just don't know what we can trust in this world in these days, Ryan.
And, you know, anybody who went through because he gave himself that name, like, legally. So he went through the process
Of making that his
of
name.
changing his name.
It's awesome. It's like those people when we were in our 20s and being silly, when those people who wore like the weed hats and like the weed shirts and it's like got weed underwear and they're driving and they get pulled over and they're like, I was profiled. I don't know why you searched my car. You have a fucking bumper sticker that says I love weed, buddy.
Right.
Like,
Well, and we're like the last generation to really worry about these kind of things. Now it's, very normal.
it's
you know?
true. It's true. When I was 19 years old, I got busted with a dime bag of pot and I got 2 years probation and had to pee in a cup every month.
I remember that.
5 years later, I had a doctor say, you should smoke more weed. Now, granted, I moved to California, but still, that is what happened.
Sounds like a smart doctor. So, Magic Beans was ultimately arrested and charged with multiple offenses related to the misadventure that is unlikely to have a fairy tale ending. Poor Magic Beans.
Poor Magic Beans. I mean, this guy and the guy from a couple weeks ago who tried to get away on the escape donkey, they need to like form a super group of just like the best, like ridiculous humans in the world. We can get like a whole team of the silliest people we could find.
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually we'll make like a comic book out of it. I actually really like this idea. I'm talking myself into this. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I mean, it's pretty close. I don't know. I always remember the first scene of our movie Nightcrawlers. Jeff's character just eats all the acid he had on him. He's like, I just ate 30 hits of acid.
Interesting movie. Writing an unofficial sequel to that as we speak.
I'm excited.
It'll be interesting.
Am I in it?
You are in it. And you actually
Yay.
are reprising the role. You are part of the connective tissue of what makes this actual sequel.
Cal returns.
So you're prepared. Well, guys, let's just, that's the end of the first part of the show. Did you enjoy all the spooky stuff? Well, we hope you enjoy the pop culture stuff because that's coming up right now.
Calling all comic fans, it's time to feed your brain at Green Brain Comics, where the freshest new issues, graphic novels, and manga hit the shelves every week. Whether you're looking for the hottest new series or the latest small press sensation, we've got it all. Every genre for every age, Green Brain Comics is your one-stop shop for all things graphic storytelling. Got questions? Our friendly staff knows their stuff. Whether you're a longtime fan or new to the world of comics, we've got recommendations that'll keep you coming back for more. And don't forget to check out our special events. Green Brain Comics is not just a store, it's a community. Located in East Downtown Dearborn, we are at Green Brain Comics on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Shop online at greenbraincomics.com and remember to feed your brain at Green Brain Comics.
Earthling Entertainment special report.
Swamps, marshes, and bogs cover approximately 6% of the Earth's surface. So yeah.
This has been an Earthling Entertainment special report.
And now that we are in the second half of the show, the pop culture section, we have a fun trivia game. And unlike other weeks or other times we've done this trivia game is, well, oh boy, it's kind of all over the place because today's episode's about swamps. And, well, Bigfoot seems a little bit more focused. We've done voodoo. That was a little bit more focused. But swamps are just a whole mess of everything. And, yeah, it should be fun. Ryan, do you think you got this?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to ace it.
You're going to ace it?
Oh, yeah. I know my swamps.
All right. Well, here are 10 multiple choice pop culture questions, all revolving around swamps. Let's do this.
Prepare yourself for the most vaguely defined trivia game we've ever done. Join us as we jump into the murky waters of entertainment. This week's quiz features questions from every facet of pop culture, movies, music, video games, stage plays, novels, comic books. They're all represented here in our swampy, useless information trivia challenge. Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. So, you know what, Ryan? We will jump right in. Here is question number 1. Which character drowns in the swamps of sadness in the 1984 film The Neverending Story? Is it A, Gamork, B, Atreyu, C, Nighthawk, or D, Artex?
I believe it was D, Artex.
That is correct. And it is also a source of childhood trauma for many people our age.
It's like, I feel like that went viral. Like, as I started seeing, like, people even are, like, going to cons, like, with, like, a horse that's, like, half drowning.
It's kind of really, really amazing. I hate AI kind of in general, but I saw a few images of, like, a Artex playset of, like, mud and the horse drowning. And that one made me laugh. I can't lie. It's like, listen, AI, you're on thin ice with me, but bring on the giggles. Bring on the giggles. That one you got correct. And I think it's a good start. I think it was a fine one. Because,
that was easy, but yeah.
But the next one I don't think you're going to get. And I don't mean to be rude, but here we go. The off-Broadway production, The Swamp Dwellers, is set in a village hut built on stilts over a swamp. It tells the story of an aging couple awaiting the return of their sons from the city, a visit that triggers a crisis of faith and trust. In what African country is this story set in? Is it A, Botswana, B, Tanzania, C, Rwanda, or D, Nicaragua?
I'm going to have to go with C.
Rwanda is incorrect. No, I am sorry, Ryan. How could you not know this very, very obvious question? It is clearly Nicaragua.
I almost wanted to say that, but that felt like a plant. I felt like you did that.
No, I didn't.
Because it felt too obvious.
Well, you know, if you knew anything about African geography, this would have been pretty obvious, Ryan.
I do not.
Jeez. Like I said, this game is kind of all over the place considering swamps. So that is a no. Ryan is at 50%. He has one right, one wrong. Are you ready for number 3?
I'm ready.
In the 2006 slasher film Hatchet, what is the name of the swamp where Victor Crowley resides and where the movie's events unfold? Is it A, Great Dismal Swamp, B, Honey Island Swamp, C, Green Swamp, or D, the Okefenokee Swamp? D, Okefenokee.
I'm going to pick Okefenokee just because it's hilarious.
No, I'm sorry, that is incorrect, but Okefenokee is hilarious. I spent this whole time writing it being like, you're gonna pronounce this right when it comes time to record, and lo and behold, still stumbled, but so did you. That is incorrect. The correct answer is the Honey Island Swamp.
You know, I almost said that too, I swear.
Well, you should have.
I really should go with my gut. I don't know why, I always change my mind by like the last one.
Well, you know, very few stories are like, yeah, went with my gut. Bad idea. It always is. I got my gut. It worked out. Yep. You know, so at least
maybe
try.
There's something to that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's a really bad idea.
I don't know.
Okay, so number 4, Ryan. Which of these swamp-dwelling characters belong to Marvel Comics? Is it A, Solomon Grande, B, the Heap, C, Man-Thing, or D, Swamp Thing?
Man-Thing.
That is correct, Ryan!
I did know that one.
Yes, Ryan knows his Marvel characters. The rest of these were DC, except for the Heap, which is a Golden Age hero that is from various publishers. Which I didn't actually read too much about what the Heap is, beyond the fact that Swamp Thing and Man Thing were kind of based a little bit off him, or maybe were inspired by him. So since it's a heap, I imagine it's just like a heap of moss or like sludge. I don't know. I got to look that up. But that brings us to question number 5. What classic comic strip, later adapted into animated shorts, featured anthropomorphic animal characters living in the Okefenokee swamp and often include political satire? Is it A, Bloom County, B, Pogo, C, Blondie, or D, Calvin and Hobbes?
Man, I wanna say well, say them again.
Do you want me the question or
Just the options.
A, Bloom County, B, Pogo, C, Blondie, or D, Calvin and Hobbes?
Oh, that would have to be Calvin and Hobbes.
No, I am sorry.
Really?
That is incorrect, Ryan. The correct answer is Pogo. It's Pogo.
I would have never thought that because that's your dog's name, and I'm like, well, he obviously wrote that in.
It is true. It is my dog's name, but he's the greatest puppy in the world. He is also the answer to this comic strip. You know what's kind of funny is there's a character from this comic strip, and I don't know his name, but there's a little statue in my father-in-law's library, and I thought it was just like a crappy Smurf statue because it looked like a Smurf with a hat that was similar to the Smurfs, except the hat had like a checkerboard on it, and the whole thing was kind of this tan color and not blue. So I just was like, well, this is the crappiest off-brand Smurf I've ever seen. No, apparently it is from the comic strip Pogo. Yeah.
Who knew?
So we've made it halfway through. And Ryan, you're not doing as bad as you might think. You have
I got
2 out
yeah.
of 3.
Yeah.
So, you the game is still good. You can still win this. I have faith in you.
Yeah, if I get the rest right, I can keep a 70%. You got 10 questions?
We have 10 questions.
All right, perfect.
Okay, so you ready for number 6?
Yes, sir.
All right. What PvP first-person shooter video game takes place primarily in a swamp setting? Is it A, Hunter, Showdown, B, Sea of Thieves, C, Project Zomboid, or D, Dark and Darker?
I'm going to go with the first one.
You say it is A, Hunt Showdown.
Yes.
That is correct, Ryan. You have done it.
That's right. I honestly didn't even know. That was just a hard guess because my gut went that one.
Well, you know what?
So there you go.
Followed your gut. You know
I
what?
did it.
It might take you all the way to victory, Ryan.
That's right. All the way.
All the way to victory.
To the top.
I didn't actually play this game. I don't know how it is, but I like the idea of a swamp setting. Bloodborne or Elden Ring, they have a lot of really cool, creepy swamps in those games. And that's kind of what I thought would be the answer here. But no, first-person shooter. Yeah. Interesting.
Oh, yeah. No, I can't think of another first person that's that similar. There's swampy areas in Fallout.
That's true. But a game that's primarily swamp,
Right. Well, Morrowind.
Morrowind?
Has a lot of swamp. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. And that's one of the Elder Scrolls, right?
Yeah, that was the original one for, I believe, it's probably PC first, then it was Xbox.
I think Morrowind was number 3. But anyways.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Excellent. So, Ryan, are you ready for number 7?
Oh, yeah.
The Princess and the Frog is a 2009 Disney animated film about a waitress desperate to fulfill her dreams of a restaurant owner and set on a journey through the swamps to turn a frog prince back into a human. What was her name? Is it A, Asha, B, Tiana, C, Rhea, or D, Vanellope?
Tiana.
Tiana is correct.
I know my Disney stuff.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you would know this one out of, and it has it's just not the most popular Disney princess.
Well,
So I
she's
tried.
she has like the log ride now, like the big drop.
Oh, see, that's it. The Disney parks were the reason why you did that. She has the big drop. That's the log ride. That
Yeah.
used to be like Briar Rabbit.
They got rid of it, the Brr or whatever.
To be fair,
yeah.
Briar Rabbit was kind of racist, so that makes sense.
Yeah, you know.
Oh my God, they went the complete other way with it. If you think about it.
Well, yeah.
Ah.
That's how Disney rolls.
Well, we tried to pick the most obscure Disney princesses. So Raya is the new one, where it's Raya the Last Dragon, which I love that Disney film. You see that one?
No, actually.
It is a 3D animated one. It came out during the pandemic, so a lot of people missed it. And Kelly Marie Tran from The Last Jedi, she plays the main character. She plays Raya, and Aquafina plays the dragon. And it is a really, really good Disney movie. Couldn't recommend it more.
Huh.
Yeah, and then after that one, what was it? Vanellope. That was Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And Asha was the character from Wish. So I tried to find like the most obscure ones to throw you off.
Well done. Well done. No, I just I knew.
You knew. Well, maybe you'll know the next one. Which of these Hellboy novels takes place in a spooky swampland? Is it A, the Dragon Pool, B, the All-Seeing Eye, C, Emerald Hell, or D, Unnatural Selection?
Shit. I'm gonna go with C.
You say C, Emerald Hell.
Yes.
And I can't believe it, Ryan. You got that one correct too.
Yes.
You are guessing. See, going with your gut. This was the best thing you've ever done. You've never done this well.
My life
on
is
one of
gonna
the games.
change.
You
Everything's different now.
quit thinking and just make sporadic decisions. This is what I've been telling you our whole lives.
Man, you know, it's like it feels good to be free of these chains.
Love it. Well, you only have 2 more questions to go. And let's see how good you can get. Number 9. The swamp-themed rap song, Fawn's Pond, which features such lyrics as, "The water's thick with murky mud. The weeds are red like splattered blood," is created by what musical group? Is it A, Zug Island, B, Mental Ward, C, ICP, or D, Troubled Minds?
Oh God. You're gonna have to read that whole thing again. Like the whole thing.
The whole thing?
The whole thing.
The swamp-themed rap song, Fawn's Pond, which features such lyrics as, "The water's thick with
Fawn's
murky
Pond.
mud."
Yeah, oh, that's ICP.
That is correct, Ryan.
I know.
Oh, and that was a genuine knowledge. Like, you actually knew that one.
I was gonna say it because I missed the name of the song. I just heard the description and it made me laugh. So yeah, when I was like Fawn's Pond, oh yeah, ICP.
Yeah. Okay, well, are you ready for our final question? Because this question I'm kind of proud of. This one was a little fun.
Okay.
All right. So, number 10 in our swampy pop culture trivia game. Which of the following statements are true about the 1972 film Frogs? A. All the frogs used in the film were native to Australia. B. No live birds were used during the bird attack scenes. Stock footage was used instead. C. One of the crocodiles on set bit off a production assistant's finger during filming. Or D. The animal actors on set served a double purpose, as most of them were later cooked and served for on-set meals.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna say I was just really trying to pay attention because there's a lot going on here. I'm gonna say, like, I don't know, like the stock footage thing sounds reasonable, but then I could think about just they could just do that. So I'm like, they use a lot of animals for the movie, so
They used a bunch of frogs, and those frogs even escaped. Like, there's a whole story about like half the frogs they used just escaping into the Florida swamps. And lizards and all this other shit. Yeah. Because they shot it in Florida.
Okay. That makes sense. Man, I'm going to have to say, oh, shoot. What were the options again? One more time.
A. All the frogs used in the film were native to Australia.
That sounds reasonable.
B. No live birds were used in the bird attack scenes. Instead, stock footage was used.
I can see that.
C. One of the crocodiles on set bit off a production assistant's finger during filming.
Did they use crocodiles?
Yes. And D. The animal actors on set served a double purpose, as most of them were later cooked and served for on-set meals.
I don't want that one to be true. But I could see it. Like, all of those I could see. Like, it all makes sense. All of them make sense to me. I'm just going to go with, then, the dude who lost his finger. Because it sounds like that could happen.
C is incorrect. No! The correct answer is B. No live birds were used for the bird attack scene. Stock footage was used instead.
Well, I got a 60%, so...
Well, you know what? Let's actually see. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6. Yeah, you're right. Look at you doing all the math. It's actually pretty easy because it's 10 questions.
Little tallies down here.
Fair enough. 60% still good. It's better than half.
I passed.
Yeah, you passed. Well,
right?
Yeah. I mean, if it's like a test in school, I don't know if 60% is a pass. But
I mean,
in our game, it's a pass. You've done it, sir. Well done. Did you enjoy that one, Ryan?
I did. That was a fun one. Good job.
Yeah, you knew a little bit more than I thought you would.
I know my swamps, man.
Yeah, you knew a little bit more than I thought you would. I got to be honest.
Well, I feel like some of those were kind of easy. Like just saying. No, usually you really get me, but a lot of those were, yeah, I was like, oh, know that one.
Well, you know what? I kind of thought you would know the Artex, the first one with the Neverending Story, and I kind of thought you might know the ICP one. So,
Yep.
You know, that makes sense. But all right, guys, how did you do at home? How many did you get right? Did you keep track? Were you just listening to Ryan's little banter?
You know?
Yeah,
I mean, that's right. Everyone was just too busy rooting for me, man. Well, I'm pretty proud of how I did there, but I'm actually really excited because this episode has a audio drama that we call Tattered Tales.
Yeah, this one's a fun one. So this Tattered Tales is, like the rest of the show, a swamp monster story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
It's called Do You Believe in Swamp Monsters? It's a log line. When Nick finds a strange orb while doing research in a local swamp, events are sent into motion that will make believers out of us all. Director Lizzie Anna Wakefield, writer Joe Wakefield. Cast Joe Wakefield as Evan, Ellie Glavich as Maya, Lee Cleveland as Nick, E.J. Watson as Charlie, Jennifer Butchard as Jenny, Vince Trotto as Officer Kushner, Andy Cash as Officer Gleason, Lizzie Anna Wakefield as the narrator. Sound designed by Luke Fisher, produced by Lizzie Anna Wakefield, Luke Fisher, and Rick Lugg.
And with no further ado, here is Do You Believe in Swamp Monsters?
Scare.
I'm telling you, Nick, this thing must have been 60 feet long.
You don't say. 60 feet, eh?
That's right.
Now tell me, Jenny, you see this thing yourself? With your own eyes?
Well, no. I didn't actually go out that night, but my girl Lily tells me...
You see? You got nothing. Just another swamp tale.
Come on, Nick. We all know there's some strange goings-ons in that puddle, and who's to say what's actually causing it?
Well, it's not a monster, Charlie.
Man, I don't know. I heard a heck of a lot of stories and...
Heard. Not seen. For real. I'm being serious. Have any of you actually seen anything? Anything at all to lead you to believe such nonsense?
I have.
Really?
So, do you believe in swamp monsters?
Yeah, I do. When I'm done telling my tale, you're gonna believe in them too.
Okay. So, are you gonna tell us the story or what?
Oh, yeah, no, I'm sorry. I was just waiting for some kind of transitional music to signify our story has moved on to a different location and time and... Ah, there it is. So tell me, do any of you know why a local marsh is called Wormwood Swamp?
'Cause during Prohibition, those Swiss immigrants were planting wormwood all over the area to make their absinthe, right?
That's right. But more than that, It's the reason why I was out there last night. You see, I teach at the local university, and right now I'm researching the direct environmental and sociological effects bootleggers had on the local community and the surrounding area. Fortunes made, political careers birthed, pockets lined, laws passed, murders, suicides. The domino effect emitting from that time period profoundly changed the world we live in today.
Okay, Professor. Spare us the lecture. We're not a couple of your students.
Right, well, that's what I was doing. I was combing the swamp for artifacts. Copper tubing, stills, what have you. Everything was normal at first. It was a typical outing. Whoa. I had already retrieved a few really nice items before things got weird.
Weird how?
I don't know. Crypto weird. The pseudoscience, not Bitcoin. Anyway, when I pulled up the line that final time, I ended up grabbing more than I bargained for.
What was it?
An orb. Or a pearl. I guess. At least that's what I thought at the time, but now I'm convinced it was an egg.
Should have thrown it back.
You don't know how right you are. And that's probably exactly what I would have done if the darn thing didn't start glowing.
The thing just lit up? Like a light bulb?
Kind of. As soon as I touched it, it started to pulsate. The light it was giving off and the weird sound it was making synchronized into this weird heartbeat. It was beautiful. Mesmerizing. Terrifying.
Sounds like an even better reason to ditch it.
Well, regardless, I took it home. Got to my house. Went to bed with no problems. At least that's what I thought. Somewhere around 6 a.m. this morning, I woke up. I'm not sure why, but I couldn't shake the feeling I was being watched.
Huh? What?
The hairs in the back of my neck stood up on end. I knew, I was convinced whatever was peering in at me was doing it through my bedroom window. I slowly crept towards the glass and then spread open the blinds in order to peer out. I couldn't believe it. Standing there in my backyard, just staring, was an honest-to-goodness swamp monster. It was bipedal. You almost might mistake it for a man if it wasn't for the oddly shaped head and oversized mouth. It looked as if it went from ear to ear, or, at least where the ears would be if it had any. It didn't really have what I would call a nose either. It was more like two nostril slits where the mound of the face would be. Kind of like an anthropomorphic claw. It doesn't really explain it. It's the best I can.
That's not how they look. They're like long serpent things with 6 red eyes.
Clearly, you don't know dick about swamp monsters.
Oh, whatever. I know stuff.
Oh, be quiet, Jenny. Let the man tell his story, for crying out loud.
Well, I just stood there in my bedroom, staring out the window like an idiot. I was in shock. A total deer-in-the-headlights situation. Then the monster's eyes started to flash a glowing light. It was so weird, so familiar. The rhythm of the monster's eyes seemed to give off some kind of energy. I don't know, they had an allure to them. I could almost hear them pulsing. Then I realized I actually could hear it, and the sound was coming from inside the room. I looked around and tried to find where the sound was coming from. And then, there it was, the orb. It was glowing and pulsating exactly in sync with the monster's eyes, looking in at me from outside. A chill ran up my spine. When I looked back, the monster was right outside my window, mere inches away. I was so surprised I stumbled and fell backwards.
Oh! Shit!
I looked at the monster's face as it peered in at me, and I knew it wanted me dead. Luckily for me, that's when the sun started coming up. It must have an aversion to sunlight, or it flat out hurts the beast. Either way, it ran back into the woods like a bat out of hell. As soon as the creature was gone, the orb stopped pulsating.
Nope, that's it. burn the house down.
Oh, I tried. I pretty much immediately threw it in the garbage can outside. But as soon as I walked back in the house, there it was. Just sitting on the kitchen table.
Bullshit!
Swear to God.
So what'd you do?
Try it again. What else was I supposed to do? At the time, I was trying to convince myself I had, some sort of brain fart. Even though I remembered it clearly, I must have not actually thrown the thing out.
All right, folks. You hear that? That's the sound of our night coming to an end. That's right, it's closing time. Please settle up and kindly get the hell out.
Do you need me to leave?
Hell no. At least not until you finish this tattered tale of yours.
Agreed. I have to admit, I'm kind of invested at this point.
Fair enough. So now I'm driving down the highway headed towards the county dump when I remembered this stupid place is closed on Tuesdays. It was so freaking frustrating. Somehow I knew I had to get rid of it. But how? Then I thought maybe I was overthinking the whole thing. Screw it. I grabbed that orb sitting next to me on the passenger seat, rolled down the window, and threw the damn thing out. For a moment, I was afraid to look over at where it had been. Logically, the orb was gone. I just threw it out the window, yet somehow I just felt like it was still there. Finally, I couldn't take it anymore, and I just turned and looked. Oh, holy crap, yes. Oh, thank God. Whew. Then it was back. It was sitting on the seat next to me like it never left. What? Oh, no. No! Are you freaking kidding me? What the hell are you? Oh, shit. Hello?
Hello, Evan.
Mia? Where are you?
I'm at your place. We were supposed to have dinner tonight, remember?
Oh, crap. I'm sorry. It's been a crazy day. Hang tight. I'll be right there.
How long are you gonna be?
Honestly, it might be another hour.
Jesus, Evan. It's going to be dark by then.
You can break in if you want. I'm sure there's a window open or something.
Just hurry, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be right there.
Love you.
Love you too.
Wait, hold on. You just drove back home knowing that orb thing might lead the monster right to her?
That does seem kind of stupid.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. She's smart. Mia's been one of my colleagues for years.
Doesn't the college have a problem with you two smashing?
Smashing? Really?
Fine then. Bumping uglies. Whatever.
It's fine. Neither one of us are the other's superior. What does any of this have to do with anything anyway?
Well, excuse us, Professor. Sorry we wanted some backstory and depth to a character that's just been introduced into the narrative.
Fair enough. Anyway, I arrived an hour later. Mia was still waiting for me outside. You couldn't get in?
Well, I'm not Catwoman. I don't know how to pick locks.
Right, sorry.
This wouldn't be an issue if you finally decided to give me a key.
Right. Well, we'll talk about that later.
You okay? I mean, you sounded a little freaked out before, but now that I've gotten a look at you, I know it's bad. What's going on?
Come inside. I gotta show you something.
Okay.
It took about 20 minutes to bring her up to speed, and even then, I don't think she was completely convinced.
Okay, you can't seriously expect me to believe any of this.
You think I'm lying? The orb is right here. Take a good look.
Okay, yeah, it's weird, but it hasn't hummed or glowed or anything.
Maybe it only does that when the swamp monster is coming.
Wow.
I know what I saw.
Right. A magical orb you can't get rid of that somehow summons a monster.
Okay, I get it. But for argument's sake, just as a hypothetical, what should I do?
Fine, I'll play. Maybe it's an egg.
What?
The orb. Maybe it's an egg. Well, just think about it. Why are you not supposed to go near bear cubs?
Because there's probably a mother nearby waiting to rip you to shreds.
Exactly. So if this thing is an egg, maybe the creature is just trying to get it back.
Fine, but none of that explains why I can't get rid of the damn thing. Seriously, I'll throw it out and it'll just reappear right where it was, like I hadn't done anything at all.
Did you ever think that maybe all of this is just a hallucination? You said the old bootleggers you're researching made absinthe. That's the Green Fairy, right? Maybe you were, I don't know, somehow exposed or something?
Absinthe doesn't actually make you hallucinate. That's a common misconception.
Really? But the movies always... Wow.
It's here.
You're just messing with me, right?
Come on, it sounded like it was coming from the backyard.
Do you see anything?
Not yet.
Don't go out there. Wait, did you see that?
Is it the monster?
No. I think somebody's out there. Just some guy.
Was it bald? Did it look like it had no ears? What about a nose?
I don't know. I didn't get a good look. Maybe there's nobody even out there. All your creepy monster talk just messing with me. Monster!
Oh, hello, officers.
Good evening, sir. How are you tonight?
Fine. What's going on?
Your neighbors reported a brunette woman lurking around the property about an hour ago.
She was allegedly casing the place, looking in windows, just general suspicious behavior.
Yeah, sorry. That was me.
She's my girlfriend. I was running late. I told her she could let herself in.
And you are?
Evan Holland. This is my place.
Oh, okay.
Hey, we're actually happy you're here. There might be someone creeping around outside.
Might be?
I didn't actually get a good look, but my boyfriend here thinks it's a monster.
Of course it's not a monster. That would be crazy. But, I don't know, the guy out there might be a burn victim or something. He didn't seem to have, like, what you'd consider normal facial features, you know?
Right. Well, we'll go around the side and check it out. You folks hang tight.
Thanks.
Thank you, officers.
Why would you tell him that I saw a monster? They're gonna think I'm insane.
Oh, come on, Evan. Lighten up.
That's when all hell broke loose. I didn't see what happened to the first cop. But the second guy died right in front of us. A split second after he fired, the poor guy was thrown through our glass back door.
Oh my God!
Help me! For a moment I was frozen, but I quickly snapped out of it and reached out for the man. Before I could do anything, the monster's frog tongue came flying in from outside and wrapped itself around the poor guy's waist. He looked at me then. His eyes were full of fear. He knew he was about to die. Run! No! And just like that, he was gone. Pulled right into the mouth of that creature. Come on, we gotta go.
It ate him.
There's nothing we can do. Go! We made it to the front door. Then, I don't know what happened. Mia shoved me outside and just locked me out. Mia, what are you doing?
We forgot the egg. I have to give it back its baby.
No, it'll kill you. That's when I heard her scream. Suddenly, her arm came bursting through the little window on my front door. Her hand was soaked in blood, either from the monster attack or from the shattering glass of the window. I'm not sure which. Either way, grasped firmly in her hand was the egg.
Take it to the swamp. It's the only way.
I didn't know what else to do, so I grabbed her hand. I could feel the monster pulling her from the other side. It was trying to take her away, back to its home in the marsh. Let her go! I didn't really have a plan. It's not like I could pull her through the little window. I knew that. but I couldn't just let the monster take her. Suddenly there was a snap, and her hand went limp. I instantly knew it was severed. As soon as I let go of it, it hit the ground, somehow still holding on to that damn orb. Mia! Mia!
So she wasn't there?
No. Her and the swamp monster were gone. It took her away as collateral until I returned the egg. It's baby. And that's what I'm about to go do. Just thought I'd stop in and get a bit of liquid courage first.
Bullshit!
I wish I was lying.
Prove it then.
I've got the egg in my truck right now.
Let's see it then.
I don't know, guys. Are we sure this is a good idea?
Sure it is. Don't you want to see what all the fuss is about, Jenny?
Not particularly.
Come on!
Okay, but we've got to hurry. I have to return this egg before it's too late.
Yeah, sure thing, bud.
No offense, kid, but this better be good.
I'll let you be the judge.
Alright then, let's see it.
Ah! You said the monster pulled off her hand! That's her whole arm and half of her rib cage!
No, she's fine. It didn't kill her. It's just keeping her alive for the trade.
Oh, hell, Nick. This guy's lost it.
Is that real? That can't be real.
Seriously, guys, forget about the arm. Look at her hand. She's still holding the egg.
There is no she anymore, you crazy psychopath!
I really think you guys are focusing on the wrong aspect of this whole thing. See? It's doing it.
Doesn't that mean the swamp monster is coming?
Quick, put that thing away!
Oh my god. There it is.
Jenny, Nick, let's get out of here. This ain't right, man.
Hold on. I want to get a better look.
I wouldn't do that, Nick. It seems to be focusing on you.
Get away from me!
You leave him alone!
Jenny, wait!
No! Charlie!
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm out of here.
Charlie, please.
Oh, you were never gonna stop, were you? Jeez, I get it now. It wasn't an egg. You're not after your baby. It's a lure. And you're an anglerfish. I took the bait. And now you're gonna eat me. Simple as that. Nature at its purest.
That was the last thought Evan had before he died. Strangely, and unbeknownst to him, the only witnesses to his demise sit on top of a nearby hill overlooking the parking lot. The two dogs, Patches and Gary, watch as the swamp monster unhinges its grotesque jaw. Then, with lightning speed, the monster decapitates Evan with one swift bite.
Jesus. That was a bit much. I've seen worse.
The two dogs wait for a while and watch as the monster devours the rest of Evan's body. Once finished, it sneaks away, fading into the swamp gas and disappearing into the tree line. Damn swamp monsters.
Little bleak, I will say.
Killed and eaten by a swamp monster. What a way to go.
I mean, if I go my whole life with never having any part of me eaten or being eaten alive just in general, I'll call it a win.
I'll call that a win too, man. I mean, come on. We've been fearing it ever since Jaws. I really never even had a swamp monster worry until now.
You know what? Just to say something a little messed up. I always thought about that. Like, what if you were eaten? And I thought, like, what would be worse? You get bitten or crushed and you kind of bleed out because, you're getting your organs and bones broken and blah, 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 blah. Getting chewed would be bad. But is that worse than being swallowed whole and either suffocating like you did in Nope with Jean Jacket, the alien that came and ate people,
Yeah.
or like Attack on Titan, where they're like in the stomach and screaming as they're boiling in like stomach acid? What would be worse, Brian? Do you want to be chewed or swallowed whole?
Dude, it's like the Sarlacc pit. Hell no.
The
I guess just finish me off.
Oh,
If you're gonna do it, I guess.
yeah. What did they say about the Sarlacc pit? Like,
That you,
as you're
like-
digested for like 1,000 years or
Something like that, yeah.
So that would suck because you would be in acid, like I talked about in Attack on Titan, except the difference would be if it's such a slow, digestion, then it would just be like you have this rashy or irritating burn on your skin that just never gets better and slowly gets worse. But how
Well-
could it digest you over 1,000 or 700 years, whatever?
Boba was messed up when
Yeah,
he
he
got
was.
out of there. He had to keep getting, like, the first few episodes was just him getting
in the back to
in the back
tank.
to tank. Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
It's
he-
really
yeah.
weird that just because his show flopped, they're like, don't worry about Boba Fett. We're not even going to address him again.
Such BS.
It is. He should be in
I
the
love the Book of
Mandalorian
Boba
and
Fett.
Roku movie.
Yes, dude. When I
Goku?
Grogu.
No. The Mandalorian and Goku is a way different film. Force.
Fourth throw.
Yay.
but yeah. Lost my train of thought.
Fair enough. Well, guys, we hope you enjoyed this bottle episode. So, for those of you who don't know or haven't figured it out right now, we haven't explicitly said it, but I'm just going to tell you right now. So, these bottle episodes that are Earthlings blank the topic are all pre-recorded episodes. And the reason why is because, well, right now I'm in Wisconsin with my family visiting my wife's sister and her kids.
It's like jumping in a time capsule.
It is. But that is why these episodes don't usually have up-to-date pop culture news or celebrity deaths, which is kind of a big part of the show. Next week, we will be doing another kind of pre-recorded show. It's a bonus episode, which is going to cover our top hauntings that we've ever covered on Earthling Entertainment.
And we've covered some good ones.
We have. That's actually a don't miss episode because even though it might be labeled bonus episode, what's good about that is it's a recap from some of the stories that you may not have heard from our earlier stuff. And there's, like Ryan said, there's a lot of good ones.
Oh yeah, definitely a lot of good ones. Make sure you feel free. Skim through our whole catalog. Give it download as you go.
Yeah. And then after that, we're back to our regular programming. But guys, if there is a topic out there that you want us to cover, or you just simply want to reach out and say, hey, what's up? You're doing a great job. Or, hey, what's up? You're doing a terrible job. Well, you can email us at Earthling Entertainment Podcast at gmail.com, or you can message us on Instagram or Facebook.
Even TikTok.
Ooh, even TikTok. And guys, Ryan has a little bit of a mission for you.
I do. Should you choose to accept it, your mission is to share this podcast with a coworker, with a friend, with your doctor, with the bartender.
Especially your doctor.
That's right.
Doctors
Yes,
love us.
They do.
Not sure why. Kind of creeped out by it.
Get your dog to listen.
Ooh, dogs love us too. Play it while you sleep. That's fine as long as you hit the download button.
Just don't bother your cat with us. There's something.
Strangely, only 13% of the demographic are cats.
I know. We really got to up those numbers, man. Those are rookie numbers.
We got to talk more about fish.
We do. What are cats into? If you're a cat, email us.
Yeah, email us. I'm thinking like, Earthlings eat tuna. And it's like, pause is like, oh, I'm in.
They're just like, oh, yeah.
This is what I've been waiting for.
Smokey is just like, now they're speaking my language.
Like I said, guys, it's a weird day. So from all of us here at Earthling Entertainment, see ya.
Meow.